You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. Calling all opera lovers, Manitoba Opera returns to the stage for their 49th season to explore human connection and a beloved tale. And to tell us more about the recently announced plan, I've reached General Director and CEO of Manitoba Opera, Larry DeRoche. Good morning, Larry. Welcome back to Classic 107.
Hi, Simon. Thanks for having me.
Well, after navigating the first ever online series of Manitoba Opera productions last season, this summer, you and the Manitoba Opera team have been planning a return to the Centennial Concert Hall with a live audience. You hinted at this when we spoke in the spring, and now it's officially announced. Let me start by asking you, how are you feeling about this? I imagine there's a real renewed hope and joy and excitement in the room.
Yeah, we're feeling really good about it, and we're really excited about it. The artists are really excited about the opportunity to return to live performance. And of course, we've missed the audience tremendously and missed that rapport that the artists and the audience have together. So yeah, we're really looking forward to the fall.
Yeah, just for everybody involved, right? Like you say, not only the performers, but also the staff and the crew, and of course, we, the audience. And it's that idea of a shared connection, a shared experience. And I suppose you've taken this rather literally in the season opener, exploring that idea of connection. Can you tell us a little bit more about the two one-act operas that have been selected to open the 2021-2022 season?
Sure. So, this is the first time in my career where I've ever had to think about what is a safe opera experience to provide, right? So thinking about that at the very beginning for the fall, consciously programming two very small operas in terms of cast size, right? So the Telephone has two singers in it, and the Noble Vein has a single singer in it. So that we could start off by creating a safe experience for the performers and the workplace and the audience as well. So starting from that point and looking at the repertoire options. And so neither of these pieces we've done before. The Telephone, little two-hander about trying to get a marriage proposal in when your fiance is committed to her phone, maybe more than you are, than she is to you. And so it's a sort of nice, light little welcome back to the opera world. And that it's only 25, 30 minutes. And both of the shows in the fall will be performed with the orchestra on stage. So they're semi-staged experiences. But also, it's a great opportunity to hear these pieces to orchestra, because usually when you do hear them, they're to piano. And of course, the Bois Humain has been performed a lot during the pandemic, a lot of streamed productions of it. But we're performing it with the orchestra. So that's a bit of a treat. And so Le Voix Humaine is a connection in a different way. The character of Elle going through a breakup in a relationship and the struggle that has. And both of these pieces are really how the telephone connects us or disconnects us in our lives. And so we felt that aside from the scale of the pieces and being safe, there is a lot of talk of connection in this time and so it seemed to be a good fit.
Yeah, most certainly is. Music of Menotti, music of Poulenc, and exciting stuff. And you mentioned, the orchestra is going to be up on the stage, a semi-stage production, an orchestra led by Naomi Wu in her Manitoba Opera debut, and another debut going on with Winnipegger Jacqueline Lowen directing, right?
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. We know there's so much talent in Winnipeg. So again, this was really a great opportunity for us to debut these artists, to give them both an opportunity to work on the stage in a scale that's not going to be overwhelming, and providing lots of support for them. And of course, Lara Chikevich, local soprano, is singing the role of Elle. And then Lita Schwerik, who's a local soprano as well, was one of the sopranos of Winnipeg last fall, is singing Lucy. And Ben is being sung by Jonathan Kirby, who's a baritone from Southern Ontario.
Yeah, he makes his return.
Yeah, makes his return. He was in Don Giovanni. He was supposed to sing Don Caro in the Carmen that got canceled, and Lita was supposed to sing Michaela. So we're finally getting them back on the stage here.
Yeah, very, very exciting indeed. I do want to ask you a little bit more about the idea of returning to the concert hall. And over the past few months, we've seen a successful and continuing vaccination campaign here in the province, which has led to this loosening of restrictions, which gives us the very possibility of being in the concert hall. Can you speak a little bit more about what the audience experience will be like?
Yeah, well, I think the next set of public health orders are coming up at the beginning of September, and we're going to wait and see what those health orders are. We're working with the hall, and we're working with our sister organizations in the community. We're sharing a lot about what kind of experience we're going to provide for our audiences. Everyone is committed to providing as safe an experience as possible. And, without stealing the concert hall's thunder too much, I think very shortly they're going to be announcing some policies for the concert hall for patrons. So people should be, looking out for that. That's going to happen fairly soon. But yeah, so we still have, our first shows don't happen until November. So we have a little bit of time. We'll wait and see what those final health public orders are, and then work within those guidelines to create a safe environment.
Yeah, like you say, still very much at the mercy of the public health recommendations. So I imagine it's going to be something similar to other sporting events, for instance, where you do the scanning of the QR codes, or you show your vaccination effort or something like that. But again, something to keep tuned for. One last thing I want to ask you about in terms of productions. One thing that we really saw this past year, 2020, 2021, was the wonderful viewership of Manitoba Opera in online shows with attendees, not only from here in the province, but across the country and beyond. Is that virtual element going to continue for, audience who isn't here, or those who don't want to enter the concert hall?
Not necessarily from our main stage programming, and we should also mention that we're doing La Cenerentola in the spring.
I was saving that one, Larry. I was saving it, but anyway, carry on.
So I think for us, and everything is still in flux a little bit, and everybody is still sort of feeling out. But I think for us, we'll look at strategic opportunities to stream our content or to create recorded content. And so it maybe it's something that's particularly local focused on local artists, or maybe it's something to do with a specific audience, or maybe it's a new work. We would look for those opportunities. But, I'll use the example for Carmen, right? There's so many great productions of Carmen that you can see online. Would we really be adding anything to that experience by streaming a production of Carmen? And so we'll be thinking about it where there's good strategic opportunities for us.
Yeah, no, that does make a plenty of sense. You mentioned we got to talk about La Cenerentola, and we most certainly do. So Menotti's The Téléphone pour la Voix Humaine take place in early November. And then in the new year, April 2020, a family favorite, Rossini's La Cenerentola. This is the first time Manitoba Opera has staged this work in 25 years. Is that right?
Yeah, I think... I don't know the math off the top of my head, but I think 96 wow. Was the last time. Yeah, so maybe almost 25 years by the time we get to it. Yeah.
So what made this the time to bring La Cenerentola back?
Oh, well, again, thinking in the spring and, making a best guess at how much will be open by that point. Again, it's a smaller cast show. And so trying to, from a logistical point of view, present something that's manageable. And as a small chorus, it doesn't have a really huge cast. Mm-hmm. And then the production that we're doing is directed by Rob Harriott. It's sort of restaging of a production that he did in Edmonton in 2017, I think. And it's just a lovely, fantastic, funny production. So it was an opportunity to bring that back. And, another artist that's making her Manitoba debut is Lizzie Hoyt, is a local mezzo-soprano. She came through our Digital Emerging Artists program, and she's also a folk singer in that. So we're really excited about debuting her. Andrew Owens, who is our Lindoro and Barber of Seville, is coming to sing the Prince, and lots of really great artists, and an opportunity to showcase them in that piece. And of course, it's fantastic music, right? And really difficult music too. So the singers will have their hands full, but they'll be brilliant.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be. I mean, Rossini, he does create such magical scores. And I suppose we should say for anyone listening and thinking, oh, Cinderella, I know that one from Disney. It's a little bit of a different take, right? A little bit of a disclaimer there.
Yeah, a little bit of different. Of course, it's pre-Disney, right? So you have to think about as Disney adapted this Cinderella. So yeah, we don't have the wicked stepmother. We have a buffoonish and maybe slightly tipsy stepfather, and we don't have a slipper. We have a bracelet. So that's the bit of jewelry identifier that gets used.
But the magic is still most certainly there.
Oh, it's I don't know. It's not an opera that gets done a lot. I think I've seen about 4 productions of it, but it's just so delightful, and the music is so sparkling, and there's such an opportunity for the characters to play off of each other. The two stepsisters, Pascal Spinney and Andrea Lett, the local soprano, be singing the two stepsisters. It's just a delightful opportunity for some comic hijinks.
Yeah, it really, really is. What a fun season. And Larry, let me be the first to congratulate you on the announcement. Looking forward to seeing how it all plays out, and so excited to hear singing again in person. It's been great connecting with you.
Well, thanks a lot. We're excited for the upcoming season, and I'm sure the audience will be thrilled to be back in the hall and hear live opera again.